What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news. And with it being a Thursday, we have Bungie's weekly update. There are naturally some recaps about the content this week, as well as heads up for future content and some changes that'll be coming up in an early September update. That will include adjustments to hunters, so we'll cover that, but Bungie also give us additional commentary and updates for today. So as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and find it useful. If you do, a rating below helps us out on the channel, but now let's get into it. And firstly, Bungie gave a Hunter ability tune-in preview for Destiny 2 Update 8054. And they say this update is planned for early September, but with regards to Hunters, following changes targeting Smoke, Swarm, and Threaded Spectre abilities, these changes are for both PvE and PvP. And as always, when previewing patch notes this many weeks out, the following bullets are subject to change if any issues arise. So we'll have to stay tuned for further updates, but these are the planned changes for the start of September. And for the Threaded Spectre aspect, they're increasing the cooldown duration of Marksman Dodge and Gambler's Dodge when Threaded Spectre is equipped. They've also removed the dodge cooldown penalty after creating a clone, and if the clone is destroyed by attacks, it no longer spawns threadlings. But additionally, they've increased the amount of time the clone will distract nearby combatants before exploding. So it's good for the clone component there, but for Swarm Grenade, they're increasing the Swarm Grenade base cooldown duration by 15%, and they've moved Swarm Grenade to a slower charge tier for non-passive grenade energy gains. On top of that though, they say the submunitions will be easier to shoot now, plus they'll chain detonate nearby submunitions. So essentially more of those will be easy to destroy or wasted in PvE. And for Smoke Bomb melee, they're reducing the time the Smoke Bomb projectile lingers in the world from 10 seconds to 3.5 seconds, so quite a big drop there. Plus they're reducing the player movement speed penalty imparted by the smoke by 25%, so it'll be a little bit less obnoxious in PvP. Plus they say there are a few more changes planned for episode 2, and while we wanted the following to ship alongside the above changes, they need a little bit more time in the oven. We can also see for Threaded Spectre there, they're increasing the detonation damage versus combatants by 33%. So it is a mixed bag of changes, some nerfs, as well as some small buffs and tuning updates, so give us your thoughts on those. Next up though, let's get into the TWID information for today. I was kind of hoping that Bungie would speak about the Destiny 2 or Destiny 10th anniversary event, which is apparently going to be dropping this September, as that is when the actual 10th anniversary is, but we don't have any details just yet, so we'll have to wait and see. They do speak about Encore though, naturally, and they say it's probably the most ambitious exotic mission to date, and they're not here to spoil any of it in the TWID, only to ask players to jump in and discover for ourselves all of the secrets within, and of course the reward for completing it is the new exotic weapon called Choir of One. It's very special, not only because it literally shoots special ammo, the first ever auto rifle to do so, but also because it fires void darts like a wyvern. And we have, of course, discovered that this week. Pretty good weapon. One of the best exotic weapons we've had for a little while, I suppose. At least from an exotic mission as part of a season or an episode, so pretty good on that front. And they also share in the TWID a fine addition to the collection, if we've earned it in-game, of course, and the latest Bungie Rewards offer is a unique collector's display piece featuring a molded relief of the Choir of One. They point out that this is the third installment of the Exotic Armory collection after Ace of Spades and Galahorn, and players who've completed the exotic mission and earned the Bravissimo Triumph by October 8th will be eligible to order the product between August 27th and November 5th. So pretty cool thing right there. And I'll link the TWAB down below if you want to check out more of the details about it. Next up though, Bungie talk about a week-long event coming to Destiny 2, and it's not the 10th anniversary, it's a different thing, but it's swording time. So they say, swords make us feel like a knight, put us in third person for more precise jumping during puzzles, and can be used for various crazy, almost illegal feats. Plus they do great damage to bosses, so they plan to honor them with a week-long event. And so starting on September 3rd, all swords in the heavy ammo slot will regenerate ammo for an entire week. That is, until reset time on September 10th. And they say we want you to have some extra fun while wielding a blade, but not so much that it trivializes raids or competitive game modes. So swords will have effectively infinite heavy ammo in seasonal content, strikes, nightfalls, Gambit, the Relic game mode in the Crucible, and Legend and Master Lost sectors. And they say 4 seasonal challenges during this time will be focused on getting kills with swords in some of those activities, so it's the perfect combo if you need some extra XP to reach level 200 on the season pass. And so a pretty interesting concept right there, giving us extra or infinite heavy sword ammo for an entire week. Again, it's only in those specific playlists, but I guess kind of interesting. Let us know down below which swords you'll be rocking the majority of the time. There's sort of another component of this as well. They say, show us some of your sweet sword swinging, and while we're making crazy plays with swords, why don't you record yourself doing so and share it with Bungie on social media? So anything from defeating flying bosses with caster frame swords, going full stealth on certain moth-infested cysts with Heart Shadow, completing a Grandmaster Nightfall only with Lament, so confirmation that this will also work in Grandmasters, but also hunting Guardians down in Gambit with an Eager Edge sword. They do say think outside the box for this one because we've seen enough well skating skips for a lifetime, so any kind of well skating probably won't get too much attention. But to participate, use the hashtag SwordLogic on social media platforms, and Bungie say we'll pick our favourites once the event is over and announce the winners in the September 12th TWID. Plus they add that the prize is double, so there'll be 2 different emblems. Photoionization, I think that says, and the Movie of the Week emblem are up for grabs, so if you're chosen, you'll get both of those emblems. I always wanted a Movie of the Week emblem, but it just never happened. So maybe I'll try. But yeah, kind of an interesting one right there. Let us know if you'll be taking part in the Sword Week, and I'm sure it will be interesting when we get access to it starting next reset. Next though, Bungie say that the Bungie Bounty for Good is back, and we've got a brand new emblem to accompany our return to the Crucible. Feast your eyes on the Bounty of Good, which will be earnable during our monthly streams for teams that match up against and beat the Bungie Foundation team, or for those Guardians who help lead or carry us to a win. The first shot to earn this new emblem is today, August 29th. Bungie are currently live at the time I'm making this video, so you might be able to grab it. Again, details are in the TWID, and they say the bounty this month will benefit the amazing partner organisation Stack Up, a group dedicated to supporting veterans and active duty military personnel through the power of gaming. So that's pretty neat, and if you do want to get involved, again, the details are in the TWID, as well as some links to the streams and all of that stuff. Next up, Bungie point out some items from their social media. The first thing they say is a reminder that you can now earn rewards on private matches in the Crucible. And to quote ourselves, they say we've added Crucible rewards to private matches to give you a slightly more casual environment to earn legendary weapons, armor, and even post-game catalyst rewards. But they add this isn't meant to be a solution to balancing issues or feedback items. It's an additive for players who want to hop into private matches for scrims, players who'd like to practice in private games, or improve their skills before hopping into the Crucible. So again, legendary weapons, armor, and catalysts potentially dropping from private matches now, which is interesting. Then, for Pathfinder, they say, earlier this week we introduced our plan for Pathfinder rewards, or a specific reward path for each ritual activity, and we've heard your feedback about wanting to focus on your favourite activity to get Pathfinder rewards, so we did just that even if it took a bit longer than we desired. Let us know what you think about this implementation once it's live on October 8th, when episode Revenant launches. So essentially totally separate Pathfinders for Gambit, the Vanguard, and Crucible, and we'll be able to tab between them as we can see in the screenshot right there. So another change coming in October, but otherwise very quick final mentions from the TWAB, and for any players going to PAX West this year, there will be a Destiny community meetup planned for Saturday, August 31st, and they say Air Bubbles and Lilybean will be there hosting the event, so again, if you happen to be going, there are details about that in the TWID, and otherwise they point out that firstly, this week with the update, the Cryoclasm aspect for Titans, which wasn't working as intended, has been fixed. So they stopped the issue that blocked the ability to benefit from the aspect on subsequent slides if the player kept running after the first activation. So that's now working. And otherwise, for Solstice, they fixed an issue where the non-glow versions of Solstice Sublime armor were not available for Warlock's armor synthesis, and then they corrected an issue where the non-glow versions of the armor were missing names in the armor synthesis screen. So a couple of minor fixes for Solstice related things there. Otherwise, no update on the name change issue yet. And once again, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't spoken about the 10th anniversary thing just yet. I believe DMG sort of loosely confirmed it is indeed happening, but no official info. However, I would imagine by next week we might hear something about it, as Destiny originally launched on the 9th of September. That's less than 2 weeks away now, so it seems possible that around that time, the 10th of September is a weekly reset, so we just might get it then, but we will have to wait and see. Otherwise, if you found the video useful today, guys, a rating really helps us out down below. Also get subscribed if you want to be kept up to date with more Destiny content, but otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.